Hi there. Just got some things I'm pondering this morning. Was wondering if any of you out there are noticing something very similar to what I'm going to bring through today. I will be using cards. I'm not quite sure what's going to come out. Very interesting decks that I don't often use on this channel. Um, but yeah, so I'm noticing this. First off, hello. I'm recording this on July 4th, Saturday, 2026. I'm noticing this, how it's coming through from my guides is a timeline retrieval. I've written down for me personally, so this might be a little different for you, like the time frame. So for me, the beginning of this timeline, the original timeline was 2004. There was a couple moments of divergence is how this is coming through. Timeline divergence. One may have been in 2014, the other one definitely in 2017. This could also be retrieving timelines that were diverged back in our childhood as well. I'll tell you why. Old dreams, you grow up wanting to be something or do something or have something, and these old dreams are resurfacing with this new alignment coming in that says it's possible, that nothing is impossible, right? Where maybe that dream you were told as a kid you'll never have it, and you believed it, or that's going to cost a lot of money, and you're never going to be able to afford that. So, like I said, this could be multiple timelines being retrieved or not. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here with what I'm getting in. Also, how I'm noticing this is the return, remembrance. I like that better, the remembrance. I'm going to write that down. Now this is, for me, this is a specific to my twin flame journey. This is a remembrance of what it felt like when I first met my twin. That's the 2004 time frame for me. So watch this video as a twin flame if you are a twin flame. Watch this video if you're not a twin flame, because I feel this is going to be and is being seen and felt across all of humanity, right? The collective. But do I dare say, if you've been watching me for a while, I've been really struggling with the definition of hope. But do I dare say that hope is returning? Put an asterisk there, right? So we'll see how this wants to play out. I've also written down here, perhaps 2 or more timeline retrievals are occurring at the same time because they're meant to converge. It's like, if you read tarot, if you watch someone who expresses the Two of Wands in this manner, this is how I express it. We're on a soul path, we're on a journey, right? And oftentimes we come to this cross point, this crossroads timeline, a pivot, where we're being shown or being offered 2 different timelines. two different paths that we can choose. We're going to learn those same lessons on either timeline, right? On either path. One's just going to be a lot more challenging than the other. It may be, that challenging aspect is purposeful because it means that we may be going deeper, and we're dredging up a lot of karmic energies or time, past lifetime energies that need to be cleared for whatever reason, right? And the other timeline, the other path might just not feel as daunting as the other. When you tap into them energetically, really don't know how they're both, either of them are going to play out, right? But when you tap into it, you've got this, the devil and the angel on your shoulder going, yes, no. And then, you choose whichever path. Those two paths always come back and converge to the main timeline. That's where I feel like we're at now as a collective. That we've been on this divergence for quite a few years, and we are now coming back. And like I said, your original timeline, time frame, the date, the year, whatever, is going to be different than mine, and that's okay. But if this is resonating, you're going to know exactly where that divergence occurred, or where the multiple divergences have occurred. When I was getting ready to turn on the camera, I got a download, and it said, "We've done the work necessary to retrieve the original timeline through frequency alignment." So we've got FIFA going on here, World Cup soccer with the bell ball. So bear with me here. I have no control, and I'm not going to tell her to stop, of course. Miss Luna's got to do her thing. She's saying we're feeling good, man. We just had a thunderstorm. Windows are open. AC is turned off. Humidity is low. It feels freaking amazing in my part of the world right now. It is. We've had a heat wave, and this is a nice reprieve from all of that. But yeah, we have reached, acquired, attained. What are the words? I'm just spitting out the words I'm being thrown at, that I've got thrown at me. We have risen up to, the reason why there was a divergence in the first place is because we weren't in alignment for the highest timeline. We were introduced to it, right? Like 2004, I met my twin flame. I was introduced to my twin flame in November 24th, actually, 2004, his birthday. So, and that introduction lasted, not in that one moment, but in this earthly time, it lasted years, okay? And then the divergence started to occur, right? Which is, typical on a twin flame journey where, you meet, you're activated, and then all the things that are being mirrored back to you come to the surface. They're right in your face, right? You know how this works, right? So, and then the internal work begins, and then the rabbit holes are gone down, and the awakening occurs, and it's like, it's all incredible. Not when you're going through it, for sure. When you know that if you're on a true twin flame journey, it's not all unicorns and rainbows and sprinkles and sparkles. Not on the outside, at least. So, but there's this. We weren't in alignment at that moment in time, but Spirit needed us to know and to recognize the timeline that we're meant to be on. Again, twin flame or not, doesn't matter. this is just showing up for me. Well, it's showing up for me in twin flame and non-twin flame aspects, although the journey is all the same for me. Speaking from my truth, okay? I cannot speak for you. I cannot speak for your neighbor. I cannot speak for anyone else. So that's what I'm noticing coming up. And I actually ran into someone online this morning that was picking up on the same thing and saying, okay, that's when Spirit said, okay, we need to dive into this because it's not just you recognizing this, Mary Jo. It is others are recognizing this. So we're going to tap into some cards decks that we're first going to start with the Wild Harmonic Oracle. I may have to pause the camera so I can sit with the energy of these messages, read through the book. I'm also going to be using the Good Tarot, and if you know me, you know me, myself, and I, and the Good Tarot do not fully have a great communication system going on, but we'll see what today brings. I'm also using another deck that I don't think I've ever used on my channel. It's the Enchanted Map deck. So let's see what this means, what Spirit is trying to tell us through these timeline retrievals, the convergence. Got a twitch over here, way in my upper cheek. Internal validation, Spirit of Fire. It's like the evil eye, protection coming through. So let me pause and I will be back in a moment. This is brilliant. So this is about taking our power back. I'm actually going to read this for you, if you don't mind. It's real small. Spirit of Fire, as the spirit of creativity embodies into the fire of will, external judgment loses their authority. Protection, inner clarity, trusting my own sense of things, and reclaiming personal power. This card is the cessation of giving my power away to external authorities, as I burn away my need to rely on the energetic, psychological energies of others. I lose my interest in becoming like others, so that there's that herd mentality is leaving, right? And open the portal and process of becoming myself and creating my world. That's why these timelines are coming back. Being shown so we can retrieve them in our empowerment, because we have stopped following the herd. We have started listening to our own internal GPS systems, right? When I give someone or something authority in my life, I have created an external authority. This is a helpful hand as I learn, but a crutch as I mature. I gave them authority, so it is my authority by which they are granted power in my world. I can just as easily take this back if I am not afraid of the responsibility of recognizing my own creation. That's why we are in alignment now, because we are recognizing and taking responsibility and holding ourselves accountable for the circumstances that we have created, for the soul contracts we've agreed to come here to experience, right? Taking our power back in a lot of areas. How do I want to expand on that, Spirit? So right now, in real time, I'm not trusting myself. And I've got to be honest, I'm not trusting y'all either. I have a Pleiadian message coming through, and I'm telling them no. So I have given, this is showing me where I've given my power away. I will deal with that on my own off camera, but I wanted to be upfront with you. These are, these timelines are something my ostomy is deciding to agree with me here. She's fighting, telling me to stop fighting it. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's see what other cards want to come out. I'm fighting. I'm fighting what wants to come through, what wants to come out of me to show y'all. Again, I'm so sorry. I cannot control my ostomy no more than I can control my cat. If you've got headphones on, I do apologize. So yeah, let's see what the enchanted map wants to bring through for this regarding the timeline retrieval and maybe the divide. Let's talk about the divergence first. Okay, the divergence, spirit of place. Boy, I just got that the other day for myself. It's a number 4. I'm just going to read, okay? I feel very calm. Calm all of a sudden. Authenticity and the essence of power. That. Speaking to what I'm... You got me right. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. I'm going to hold this up. When the spirit of place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go and of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. I'm going to sit and meditate with this on my own later, but this is just saying to me with the internal validation that the reason why these timelines are being retrieved and converging now with other timelines that have been diverged, I gotta watch how I place my words here, is because we have reached this important, I want to say landmark, because that's what I'm hearing, so I'm going to use it, this important landmark, a marker. Okay, a marker, you know how like you put a pin in a map, it's a marker of we've raised our frequency, we've achieved this type of alignment and frequency that spirit needed us to be in as a collective. So individually we're doing this, but as a collective, enough have, done the work that is allowing these timelines. We've taken ownership of who we are. We've taken our power back. We're stepped into our authenticity. That's why this is happening across the globe. Get some more messages here. Goblins, interesting. So where we've got 4 and 5, We're going in order here. Goblins. I'll read that too. I want one more. Yeah, I've been seeing that as well, sir. So thank you. Just remember, because we've raised our frequency, and doesn't eradicate the dark energies. Oh my gosh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. So we have a 24 card, which is a 6. We've got 4, 5, 6. So this is your message. If you've been seeing that number anywhere and everywhere, which I have, this card is stuck in the mud, and we've got goblins. Right off the bat, I'm getting there are going to be energies around us that want to keep us on the lower timelines that I don't know if I want to call them a lower timeline. They were very purposeful. This divergence, these divergent timelines it's where we grew. It's where we realized we were giving our power away. It's where we realized who we are, remembered who we are, so we can take our power back. It's where we stepped into our authority and our sovereignty, right? But there are going to be those out there that don't like it. There are going to be those out there that are so used to us being agreeable and the same as we've always shown up for them or in that situation, that they're going to want to keep us stuck there. But I'm being shown, boy, I've got the magician flashing in my third eye here. We are being shown, that's so funny. So I was looking at card decks today online at a site, and the magician was one of the cards that, the sample cards, when you go look at the imagery more closely, that was the high priestess and the empress and the magician were the ones that were the first ones they show you, right? So that's very interesting. Standing in our power, knowing our worth, stepping into it, trusting our intuition. Oof, I got to work on that a little more, especially when it involves me letting those beings speak through me in a less controlled manner. Get what I'm saying? I know you do. I'm not even going to read on these, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm getting that message very clearly here. There are going to be energies that are going to want to keep us where we've been for however long your divergence has been going on, right? So this is about not allowing that to happen, to recognize that you know how to handle it now. It's not your first rodeo, it's not your first circus. You know. Because there have been the things that you have learned on these divergent pathways, timelines, what you've learned and how you've learned to maneuver and function, that's like ingrained wisdom. Number one. Number two, it's more of, I want to say it's more of a remembrance of your power. Hang on. Okay. That was the purpose of the divergence, so we can remember our personal power, remember who we are on a soul level. I don't know if you hear that or if I'm just hearing that. it's like I'm hearing a siren go off in another town. I do have very, like my dad always says, I've got sonic hearing like a bat, and I do. So I don't know if you hear it. Let me know. But so there's like, okay, so that there's no mistake when I read. There will be sirens. There will be warning signals to alert you to this energy that wants to keep you stuck. There always have been. There's synchronicities or symbols. There's, things showing up. Animals, spirit animals that might show up for you. Snake might be one of them. Snake is one of my, I love my spirit guides. My snake, oh my gosh. Sometimes it's embarrassing when she starts spouting off. I do apologize. But snake protects it, but it also warns. It warns that there could be danger. It warns that there's a reason that they're around to protect you, right? I want to say that because we've taken our power back, we see those things so clearly. We see through the deception. We see through the manipulation. Let's get some tarot here, and I'll please God let this deck speak to me. I always get so nervous when they want me to use this deck. Just let me connect in with it. What more can you share with us, Spirit, about the okay, so they're reminding me. So I asked when I was using this deck here, I was asking, let's first look at why the divergence occurred. It was so we can take back our power, so we can remember who we are, and not follow the herd. Well, first we needed to follow the herd. It's interesting, there's an elephant here as well. We needed to follow the herd so we can remember what was for us and what's not. But also so we can learn to see through the deception and the lies and the manipulation. So, and then I asked also for a message on the convergence. There's going to be a lot of this lower energy that wants to try to keep us stuck. I just want to mention the fan is moving my camera. If you recognize or notice that the camera is shaking. I'm right underneath the ceiling fan. Yeah. The convergence is a beautiful thing, but it's going to bring out the uglies. Let's just put it that way. But we're much more powerful now. And it's not like we have to, fight this with brute force. This is about standing in our authenticity, standing in our sovereignty, letting that speak volumes more than any kind of aggressive behavior would have tried to do in the past. All right, let's get a few cards here. Spirit, the top of my head just started tingling. Let's do it. Got the Two of Cups. It kind of landed a little wonky. I'm not planning on reading any kind of reversals, but I am taking that into consideration here, that there could be some couplings that are coming uncoupled. Maybe some couplings, boy, it's really tingling. maybe some couplings occurred during one of the years of your divergences, right? Dark energy came in to throw you onto another path and off of your main timeline, you know. Keeping in mind, though, we agreed to have these are like little like disclaimers in our soul contract where we agreed to allow this to happen when when the divine felt that it was necessary for it to happen, right? So we have to take responsibility for those divergences as much as the convergences. So yeah, there could be some couplings uncoupled during this time frame. 26, 27, 28 I'm hearing. Okay. 26, 27, 28. And that's 8, 9, 10. So there's another, we got 4, 5, 6, and we got 8, 9, 10. The 7 is the deception. The 7 is the confusion. The 7 is the waiting and believing that what we want, we can't have. Ooh, that's a beautiful new explanation of the 7 of Pentacles for me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's. And now it's out right out of my head. I'm going to have to watch this back because I just forgot what that was, and that was around 31 minutes. So let me gotta write that down. The Hierophant. Yeah, there are going to be some marriages that will be leaving because you've raised your vibration. You're no longer in alignment with it because you have learned how there was to learn on that. You know, the message was we've done the work necessary to retrieve the original timeline through frequency alignment. Remember that. You know, the soul contract is done. The karmic debts are paid, right? Another message is there, you know, because of, you know, going to, for me, I'm going to speak on the twin flame journey because that's how this began for me, is there could be twin flames coming into union, their physical union. There could be, you know, soulmates coming in to couple with you. There are, instead of the traditional, there's more of a spiritual. You know, the old timeline could have been, you know, like following a very traditional religion, and now it's not about religion, it's about the spirituality of it all, because you've discovered that inside of you. What else? Talk to me about this convergence. Justice. Everything is working out in divine plan, divine order, divinely orchestrated. The truth. I'm hearing returning to the truth. Ooh, I like that. There's a lot coming. I mean, I gotta write everything down because I never. Oh, they got truth in capital letters, all caps. Okay, returning to the truth. This could definitely, it's a number 11 card. This could definitely be twin flame alignment now. That's beautiful. So far, so good with the deck, right? That's a lot. Yeah, because we've done the work, we've healed, we've done the healing. 4 of air, 4 of swords. another Four of Wands. It's twin flame union, but this deck feels like being at home within our skin, loving our authenticity. I feel like I want to say there have been enough of individuals that have awakened to their soul path, their truth of who they are, their remembrance, in order for this convergence to occur. She's going down the stairs with a ball. You can hear it, boom, 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 boom. Got her out in the hallway here. The Three of Swords here. We've got 2, 3, 4 on the table already. We've got a lot of 4, so 4, 4, 4. We've got number 11. Okay, just throwing out some numbers here. Oh, that was quick. The 2 love doves there, or whatever they're called. And there's a third, so there's like third party. There's a third one right here. Third party energies are leaving. Spirit is taking them out of the picture. If your twin flame, let's just talk twin flame right now. If your twin flame is married, or if you are married and on the twin flame journey, you'll recognize this message for you that third party energies are being removed by spirit. They are, whether that's a spouse or, third party could be, it's just an energy, could be a work, could be a mindset, could be a belief system, could be family members, anyone or anything that pulls your attention away from, the journey. And yes, we've got the sun here, which almost looks like it's starting to get bright out, but it's still raining. It's not pouring like it was. It's still raining though. So yeah, I'm loving this so far. It doesn't matter if I love it or not. It's going to come out, right? But sun, illumination. Enough of us, like I said, enough of us have awakened. Enough of us have done the shadow work. Enough of us, and I'm talking collectively, humanity has done the work. They've gone down deep into the ego, and they faced it. They've befriended it. And they said, come on, let's do this together instead of fighting. I've still got some work to do because I'm fighting, like you saw earlier, I'm fighting having that light language come out for all to see. And I know that's just my own judgment of myself. So taking that on board. Yeah, it shows up always when it's most important. Just got beat red. Yeah, they had me put on my goddess pendant today. It's like standing in your power, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I've got to look for myself, deeper into what's holding me back. So anyway, this video is not about me solely. It's about us. Anything else you can tell us here. For doing a spread, we've got 2 more. There's that Magician. I'll look at that, and the Messenger of Earth here. Learning new I'm hearing tips, tricks, and techniques. The 3 T's. That's interesting. I don't know what that's in reference to. Tips, tricks, and techniques. There's that Magician. He definitely wants to show itself today. And this Hierophant is reminiscent of the High Priestess, is it not? It's a feminine, typically. It's a male this depiction in the traditional tarot. This is not traditional. This is the divine feminine rising in all of us, taking her power back. I am being reminded that before my convergence, the one of them, or before one of my divergence, 2014, between 2014 and 2017. So I was channeling the Galactic Federation. I was automatic writing. I was channeling Archangel Michael, Metatron, many, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene. I would find, yes, see, remember my confirmation from my phone. I was delivering those messages on my Facebook page, channeled messages, and I didn't give a crap who read them, heard them, saw them. I didn't give a crap. That's who I'm returning to. I've somehow, part of my divergence was judging myself, and we talked about that with this card, right? Judging ourselves and giving our power out to, oh my gosh, it's like giving our power to the distorted ego, the lower aspect of it. That, I mean, the highest aspect of the ego is that it's here to work with us, to protect us. Oh, there's something there. So that, okay, again, I'm talking about myself. You almost think I really like doing this. I just, there's something there. I feel like I am meant. So I mentioned in one of my videos yesterday, my July videos, that I recently discovered by dipping into my birth chart a little more, I discovered the purpose of why I was born as a Capricorn in this lifetime. And it's self-transcendence. It's meaning that I'm meant to transcend the ego. I think I better watch this video back when I'm done with it to get my own messages. And I hope you understand that when I share my personal experiences, it's maybe so you can say, oh, I'm not alone, or yeah, I really resonate with that. I get where she's coming from. I can see where that's playing out in my life, or where it has. So I'm certainly am not someone who is very conceited at all. I'm an introvert at best. So there's just something about the freedom of recording this. I can trash it if I wanted to, but I know Spirit's not going to let me. But this is where we're the divine feminine in all of us, the goddess energy in all of us is rising. She's taking back her power. Male or female, gender does not matter. We have her in us, each and every one. Plants, animals, they all have this energy, right? Divine feminine rising. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. 8. Another one. There's 8. 8 feminine energies on the table. I've got to say, the only 2 masculine energies. This is the male, but the sun is a masculine energy, right? Depicted as a female. there's something being said here about the divine feminine in all of us rising, because she has been quieted for too many centuries, too many lifetimes. She's been persecuted for light language, for being a seer, for wanting to let herself shine. Oh, there's just so much here. I mean, this video would go on for hours if I let it, and maybe it will. But we are learning something new about ourselves, and it's like the divine masculine, the masculine energy within all of us, has been holding space for that learning, has been giving us a safe space. What's the word I'm looking for? Container. Thank you, Spirit. It's been holding the safe container for us to learn all this time. So whenever your divergence occurred, 2004, 2014, 2017, when you were a kid, whenever it was. What you got, Luna? You got a bug? I don't know what she's following. Probably one piece of my hair floating on the floor. But anyway, yeah. Whenever your divergence occurred, your inner masculine, even though the inner masculine's been going through their own healing as well, but the true inner masculine has been holding space. They've created a safe container for the divine feminine to rise. You notice here how the traditional tarot has the magician that usually has the altar with all of the elements on it, right? And here it's the Hierophant who has the altar with all the elements in a feminine form. It's like the masculine energy has been sending out this signal. Look at these like frequency waves around him. I know there's a glare. I'm trying to. There's these frequency waves. It's been emanating out this energy. You know, as a twin flame, the community says, well, the divine feminine wakes up first and holds the light, and so the masculine energy, the masculine can find their way home to themselves, right? What if that was not the truth? Or what if this and that are true? That at times the feminine does that, but for right now, what I'm speaking about, the divine, the masculine, the sacred masculine energy has been doing that for the feminine. He's been very patient. He's been waiting a long time. Look how white his beard is. But he's always had this knowing, and it's like that frequency never stopped. It just kept coming out and going out and going out. Trusting that the feminine would find her way back home to herself. Wow. So, as for twin flames, I'm going to say there's union coming. Physical, tangible union. Third party energies. I'm not saying tomorrow. It could happen tomorrow. It might not. It might be years. But third party energies have lost their power. And they're actually being, I'm hearing they're actually being safely returned to their original timeline as well. I love that because we don't wish any third party any ill, any harm. And if you do, click off my channel right now, okay? Because I won't tolerate that. Not that I have to, but there's a confirmation. I'm talking the solar flares, geostorms. Which one's this one now? Yeah, 2 M-class solar flares while we've been sitting here. The sun is working its magic. It is bringing something tangible, a big tangible change to each and every one of our lives. For some, it's going to be very small. For others, I feel like it's going to be quite significant. No matter how it shows up, it is going to be significant, okay? It might not look it or appear it right now, but it will be, because that small ace that this messenger of Earth carries, this Page of Pentacles carries, is it can grow. Spirit, can you talk to me about the divergence, the, you know, whatever you want to say on that? The divergence or divergences. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, we need to learn our earth, our worth. We needed to learn that there really is no separation. We needed to see beyond those falsities. Look at that. Oh, I love that. The earth. There was an ascension, part of the ascension process. And the 5 of Fire, 5 of Wands. It's where we needed to learn to stop fighting ourselves, stop judging ourselves, and start learning to validate ourselves. Internal validation, that card said, right? A new cycle needed to be birthed out of these lower energies. 5s are about change, shifts, and let me tell you, the shift was real back then, and the shift is real now. That was the divergence. This is the convergence. Unions coming back, couplings coming back together. Third party energies leaving quite peacefully, actually, I want to say. I mean, excuse me, quite peaceful. Like where there's been resistance, oh, there's something about resistance here with that 5 of Wands. Like where we've resisted believing that we weren't abandoned, believing that we didn't want to believe that what we believed wasn't true. Does that make sense? Did that come out right? There's, 5 of Pentacles is, I'm hearing, be proud of what you've built on your own. You and, where is it? I gotta see it. This little bird here. You and Spirit have built something worth evolving. And you needed to see that. What else do you need us to... Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, get back here. Yeah, the Hermit and the Lover's card. isolation is no more. Herman is about isolating. We've learned how we've graduated, received all our keys to open this door, and we realize that we are the key, right? We've healed everything. We've come into balance with the two pillars here, masculine and feminine energies. We've tamed our shadow. We've befriended how you've loved yourself, all aspects of yourself. Still working on that. And it's okay if you are still working on it. But we've acquired this certain level of love, self-love, self-acceptance, that it's enough collectively for this convergence to occur. Enough of us have chosen the true timeline, the highest timeline, and that's the timeline that was diverged off of. We may have wanted it back then, but we weren't in the vibration to handle it. No way, shape, or form were we in the vibration, the frequency to handle it. Now we are. We're walking in our power. I'm getting Tesla 369 for whatever reason, so I'm just throwing that out there because it's what I'm hearing. I don't know what that has to do with, someone certainly maybe needs to look into that. Anything else here? We've got the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Earth. This is our legacy. Page of Fire, telling a new story. I'm hearing that the town, like the Paul Revere, the town crier, there's a message that okay, first of all, if you've got a message to deliver to humanity, here we go, talking about me here, right? It's part of why you're here. You're here to deliver those messages. My guides had put my name after that sentence. You're here to deliver those messages. I also want to say, whatever you're receiving, whatever download you're receiving, whatever channeled messages you're receiving, get them out into the world. I know I'm talking to myself here, sir, because it's part of your legacy. I want to say for many of us in the spiritual community, this is how we're meant to support ourselves financially, because we would receive an energetic exchange for our services, for our gifts, all the gifts that we have here, because we know how to use each and every one of them. What else do you want to tell us about this timeline retrieval? Time to step up, I'm hearing. All right. So I'm being given. So I'm using me again. So because I'm not the only one who's out here still resisting letting her phonus shine. How do we work through that? We're standing in our power and our authenticity for the majority of time, but because for me, with that resistance to the light language, or the resistance to even if I'm speaking human words, I am channeling the Palladians. I've done it before, though. I feel like this was more of a combination of the light language and English language that wanted to come out of me just earlier on the video, but and I've not spoken light language. once, and that was to me, for me. No one else was around. I didn't even record it. I wish I had my phone ready to go, press record. But so what, for those of us who are still, I don't know, afraid of letting our soul self shine, what do you want to say to that? Is that the goblins that are keeping us stuck in that lower belief that we'd be an embarrassment, or that we'd be doing something wrong, or that, if I spoke light language, if I don't understand what it means, if I don't have the download with it, what good is that? I don't know. I don't know. I love listening to light language. I've been drawn to that since I was a lot younger than I am now. So let's see. Queen of Fire, stand in your power. Take your power back. Let yourself shine. Let yourself be seen. How do we loosen up that internal clenching? Because I just felt my whole body just tighten right up with that. Just saw the Devil. Okay, we've got the Three of Wands here. We've got, this one came out as well, the Five of Swords. Don't be afraid to speak. And we've got this one, the Chariot. Yeah, I love these two energies. They kind of feel the same to me. Just let it flow, let it out. Let it move through you. It's nothing that you have to do, just relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, and just letting it flow from you. I want to say with the Chariot here, so we're still in Cancer season, and as I'm recording this, doesn't matter when you're watching this, but we're still in Cancer season, and Chariot is Cancer energy. Is like, what this is saying to me personally is, let this Cancer energy help you to feel at home within your body. Got a lot of energy in Cancer going on right now. The Five of Swords this is a totally different Five of Swords. So there's something clearing that, working on clearing the throat chakra. Okay, I will do that. For those of you who are in the same boat as me with speaking, having spiritual beings, sentient beings speak through you, putting yourself out there in that manner, clearing the throat chakra, letting the words fly. I'm just getting something about this. Relax into it. See, my throat is just clearing. Ooh, I forgot that was lemon water. No, that's not lemon. What is that? Oh, it's my cucumber water. Forgot that. Wasn't expecting it. Okay, there's something there. Just let it flow. Don't put any expectations, because that way you won't be disappointed in yourself. Someone else needed to hear that. Final messages. Wheel of Fortune. It's your time. It's our time. The wheel is turned in our favor. It's a totally new cycle. We are in a 1 year, 2026. This is the time. Yeah, we've done the work. Don't keep yourself trapped in the old mindset. Don't let the ego control the direction of what you're moving in. That resistance could possibly be coming from, we've been in this divergence for so long. We believed that it was true. I'm surprised the Seven of Swords didn't come out. I didn't get any sevens other than the Chariot out here, so no Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, you know, no Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. It came through in conversation, but it didn't come out here in the cards, and I like that because that just tells me that that's clearing. We've we've cleared all the illusions. We've seen right through them, right? I've enjoyed this conversation. I hope you did, you have too. I don't know who's going to resonate with this, but if you do, please, let's have a conversation in the comments, or if you need to, email me. It'll be in the description box below, but it's just, and if you want to know where this is going for yourself, we can certainly read on that. But that's not what I'm doing here, right now. I'm not plugging for personal readings. It's just, this was on my mind. This was being shown to me very clearly that there's been a shift, very significant shift, and I've been hearing it coming for the last few weeks. So maybe since middle of June. Actually, if I'm being real with myself, for almost 2 years, about 20, 21 months, because that's when I started going back into what I loved about growing up. I bought myself a pair of roller skates. Haven't roller skated since I've fallen, but I will. Started listening to the 70s music again. So all of those old things that made me feel like home, that made me feel happy and joyful and more real, they've been coming back since Mom passed, actually, in 24. So it's been coming for a while. Then all of a sudden this year, like in my old dream of having a horse living in the country, even though I don't know how financially it's gonna occur, I know that it'll occur because it's meant to. I mean, I'm not meant to worry about the how and the details of it. It's just hold the dream. It's the same with the twin connection. Returning to that, I know what I know, and I'll be damned if I let anyone else convince me otherwise anymore, right? You can have your own belief on the twin flame journey, but I have my knowing and I have my truth because my truth came right from source. I was taken there and everything was laid out in layman's terms for me, what this journey was about and what twin flames are supposed to do here. So, and I started letting other twin flame people online talk me into doubting that. I've allowed myself to talk myself out of it. I've allowed my 3D circumstances with my divine counterpart talk me out of believing that. So I'm not having any more of it. I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing in my power, especially where that's concerned. Got to work on the light language thing though. But yeah, I want to say I know my videos are long and I can sometimes talk a lot. Again, this isn't really typically me. I am typically an introvert, very quiet, don't share a lot with a lot of people. But and I'm essentially right now, as I'm recording this, I'm actually just talking to myself in the camera, right? You're not hearing me talk as I'm recording. It's just me, myself, and I gotta watch that movie again, Me, Myself, and Irene. That was a good movie. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but so yeah, that just shows me I'm more comfortable with who I've become and who I'm becoming. I've got some work to do, and that's okay. I'm open to that. I'm up for the challenge if it has to be a challenge, but it doesn't have to be. It can be joyful, it can be fun, and I'm connecting in with the right people to help me with that too. So, but I wanted to say thank you. I appreciate that you're here, that you are. I just saw 11111 on the timer. That was fascinating. And then it quickly jumped to like a different number very quickly. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sticking with the channel. I never know. I mean, I've tried to emulate other readers, and that was wrong for me. So there might be some changes. You know, I know people like the monthly Zodiac readings. I'm not quite sure I'm going to keep that up in the manner that I've been doing it. It might just shift a little bit. But yeah, hopefully there'll be some other things come in. Maybe some light language. I don't know. I hope so. I want to trust myself. I want to trust y'all. But I've got to take my power back from something. I'll figure that out. I'm gonna let you go. Go get a drink. Go get a cup of coffee. Go have a stiff drink after sitting here all this time. But no, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit through the length of my journey, my videos, my journey. Well, there you go. That too. So, I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Have a beautiful weekend.